Well, there we go. Haven't heard that song in a while myself.
I like that song. It makes me think of going up to the second floor. Or down to the basement, to the parking garage.
Yep.
The elevator-rific. Chris Lord, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to Japanese Knife 101. We're Chris
right.
Lord and I, who's over that direction.
That's me.
We talk about knives. We talk about Japanese knives. Today we're talking about Christmas gifts.
Yeah. Shopping for other people.
Chris, do you know about it? It's called Christmas. And
it's true.
Buy gifts then. And you know what would be a really good gift?
Kitchen knife.
Chris. Japanese kitchen knife would be a great gift.
Yeah, I think so. I would like to receive one.
Maybe we should tell them who we are, so maybe they know.
Yeah. So, in case you haven't tuned into this before, you're brand new to our brand of shenanigans. Kevin and I get together every now and again. We have a little bit of a chit chat for Japanese Knife 101. We both work for Knifewear, and Kevin's the big boss, and I guess I'm the Ottawa boss, and we
little boss. That's right.
Big boss, little boss. I guess I'm like the guy halfway through the level. Like I'm the guy. Like if it was Mario, I'd be the guy chucking the hammers, and you're Bowser. So I'm like the halfway boss, and you're the big boss.
Donkey Kong. Can it be Donkey Kong?
You could be Donkey Kong, sure. But so we work at Knifewear, a collection of knife shops across Canada, where we specialize in Japanese kitchen knives. So I'm in the Ottawa location. We've got stores in Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver as well.
That's Nathan Garrow over there taking pictures of me.
Nathan Garrow's taking photos.
Taking photos of me.
Yeah. There's Nathan Garrow. He's been harassing me on the telephone all morning.
That's because he's a piece of garbage. Terrible human, that one.
Yeah, he's just works too hard and is trying to get me to do that too.
He's always good. The worst.
Isn't he the worst, trying to get us to do our job? So every now and again, Kevin and I get together. We used to do it a lot because the stores were all locked down and all that, but now they're less so. So every couple of weeks, we get jobs to do now. Sorry?
We actually have jobs to do now.
I know. Now I've got to sharpen the knives and stuff. But we get together here on YouTube and Facebook, a little live event where it's like kind of Knifewear's Ask Me Anything. We got a loose, not a script, but a theme, what knife makes a good gift? What should you be looking at? If you're looking to give somebody a knife as a present this year. But we'll answer any of your questions, What was that noise? Could be that question. We could also...
That's here's chains and so I'm in the warehouse in Calgary.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm in the warehouse because it's got a beautiful exit sign behind me. And if you look this way, there's a bicycle here. The star of the show.
The star of the show.
Hey, we've got some guy here changing some light bulbs, and he just smashed one of those huge kind of 10.
Oh, like the fluorescent ones?
Smashed one of those 10-foot long fluorescent tubes.
Oh.
Oh, well, nobody's hurt. Everybody's fine.
No.
I hope it didn't go into all of our stuff.
Yeah, probably not. Fingers crossed. So, but you know what? We it's our version of the AMA, ask me anything. There's a couple of good questions already, but go ahead and you want to know about a particular knife that we've got, you want to know what's a good knife for a job, some of the nitty-gritty, that sort of thing. So we may as well just jump right in, Kevin. There's
hold on. Before we get started, we're supposed to say welcome to our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
If you could do us a favor and like this show, if you like this show, as hard as it might be, and then subscribe to the channel, then something happens. Mostly I just don't get emails from Chris and Naoto and Nathan.
Yeah, telling you to do that. Yeah.
If you could do those things, that saves me a lot of just hassle.
Yeah.
Right? And I've actually got some work to do while we're doing this, Chris. We've got a lot of boxes to receive. We got a lot of knives coming in right now. And so we've got a box here from Hokiyama that we'll be receiving. If that's okay, if I can just do a little work while we're talking.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Well, how about I just I'll be the pigeon in your ear here. So we got one. This is a new name for me. I don't know if I know this person. Blades of Sun, SUNN.
Son?
Which petty with a D-shaped handle do you guys think would be good? Best made of ginseng.
That's a very specific one. If we change that question, it might be: do you carry a D-handled ginseng petty?
I don't know that we
It's
do.
It's a very specific question.
We've got, you know what we've got? That we do have a ginseng petty that I quite like. Now this is not a petty, so don't harass me about the size of the knife. But the Haruki Kokuto, that's made out of ginseng. Now it's got a round handle, a round cherry wood handle.
Nothing a bit of sandpaper can't fix.
That's true. That's true. Bit of sandpaper. But yeah, no, I think you're in the right headspace to consider ginseng. It makes a really great knife.
Listen, as you know, all the boxes we receive at the warehouse have packaging in them, right? And I don't know if you know this, or I don't know if other people know this. We save all the packaging because we reuse it all. So if you get a knife from us, it might have Japanese newspaper as packaging. It might have little weird styrofoam peanuts, and it might have bubble wrap, whatever. But most of we recycle all of the reuse. Sorry, we don't recycle. We reuse all the packaging material we get. Sadly, we have to buy sometimes. Can you imagine buying packing material? But there you go.
Every now and again.
But I'm really happy that we do reuse everything.
Yeah.
I think I'm really proud of. And if you look over here, you see a whole stack of boxes on that shelf that we've saved all the boxes that we receive things in, so that we use those boxes when we send shipments out to the stores from the warehouse. Anyway, I just like to brag about that because I'm really pleased that we're reusing as much as we can.
That's a good bragging point.
Yeah, but it also means that sometimes when you get your package from us, it's like,
yeah,
because you might get like 4 kinds of weird packaging in it. But I'm going to go put this where we put the newspaper packaging. I'll be back.
Okay.
On that sofa question.
Okay. So, Blades of Sun, that was a 210. That was a 210 millimeter Gyuto. Now, this line, the Haruki Kokuto, they do make a 135 millimeter petty. And I like that too. I'm a big fan of that. So. Oh, Kevin. They're coming at you. We got a question from a pal named Corey Phillips.
Hey, Corey.
We do know Kajiwara from Tulsa, don't we? We had some Kajiwara knives in the garage sale.
We did. I haven't met him yet. There's this whole COVID thing. Do you know about this, Chris? There's this whole pandemic thing going on.
I've heard about it.
I haven't been able to get to Japan like I normally do.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bummer. Mm-hmm. So I haven't met them yet, but Naoto and I have Zoomed.
Yeah.
It's on my list of people to meet when I finally do get back there.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, like, according to the website, we don't have any of his stuff currently, but we have had his Aogami number 2. We've had knives from him in over the last couple of garage sales. So they're great. They're great.
Can I just talk about how we receive knives and how we package them and send them real quick?
Sure.
I know this is off
do it
entirely, but I really like this. So we basically receive the box. So there's a box full of knives here, and then I look at the packaging. We inspect the box first to make sure it looks right. Make sure it doesn't look damaged in any way. We'll open the knife, and we'll give it a once over. Then we go get a honing on. Well, first we give it a visual inspection, make sure there's no blemishes or any like visually weird thing. And this one has got a bit of a protective coating on it, so it kind of looks weird. So I'm just kind of rubbing that coating in a few spots to see if it is strange underneath, and it's not.
See if it's actually weird or not.
Yeah, exactly. because a lot of times they come with a coating that just stops the rusting, right? So we give it a good visual look, and we think, is it indicative of this knife? Like, is it right? Because, for example, you get the Takamura red handle Akagohan ones, and they're basically identical, right? But then you get one like this, the Kokuto, Haruki Kokuto, which is, they're all handmade. So they're all a little bit different. So you have to kind of make an assessment of, is this within the realms of normal for this knife?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not, as you know. Sometimes it's strange. We do that. And then we give it the inspection of, is the blade actually straight in every way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we look at the spine, we look at the edge, and that was good. Make sure the handle is on straight, make sure the handle's in good condition, right? And then, and I don't have my paper, but I'm going to get some, then we test the edge and see if maybe it's perfect, or maybe it needs a touch up with the strop, or maybe it needs something like maybe it needs to actually sharpen, or like just touched up on stones. So I'll make this assessment here, checking each edge of the blade, and then I'll put it away, put a care letter in it, and if it's good, it goes into the pile, and if it needs work, it goes into the needs work pile. I usually have two piles. The needs work pile is, it's bent and needs to be straightened, or it needs to be sharpened. So I'll have the bent and sharpened pile. But they're starting at the end.
Well, and then we do the same thing on the way out too.
Yeah, and then we maybe we can go look and see how they package them. But we do a lot of things when we package it. One of them is the shake test. So after we package it up, we just shake it really hard, like any good mail carrier will do. We shake it hard to see if it rattles around inside, because we want the knife to be secure in the box it comes in, but that we want that to be secure within the box as well, because we don't want it to open through the end. We don't want it to get damaged. We don't want the packaging to be damaged. We just want you to get the best knife. It's just easier if we send the right knife to the right people, and it's
in the best condition.
In the best condition.
Yeah.
So we take a lot of steps to make sure of that, because we just don't want to messing up. We also like to send your knife the day you order it.
Yeah.
Or the next day, right?
Yeah. It's usually within, we do our best to do same day, but it's definitely within 24 hours. It's kind of like our sharpening in the stores, right? We try our best to do it while you wait, and, worst case scenario, you get it tomorrow. So
I'm going to go get some paper to test these knives.
All right. Well, I'm going to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Corey Phillips, I don't know if you heard that answer before. We've yet to meet Kajiwara face-to-face, but we have been carrying some of his stuff. It's pretty great. Mason Mang is asking, can you show a tutorial on rotary cutting with an Asuba or even a single bevel Kiritsuke? I can't do that personally. I'm one of those sinister left-handed people, and I don't have an Asuba. I'm not very familiar with using a single bevel knife, but you know what? We can. I'll send old Chris Armitage an email and ask him to, so we can get some of those put up on the YouTube channel. That should be easy enough. Lots of people ask that. We should already have that done. Thanks for pointing that out. And then drop tuned. If I needed X number of strops and Y compounds at Z grits and really wanted to upgrade my burr removal game, what would you recommend? Love the channel. Well, thank you for the kind words. I really like, I'll pop it in the comments here for you. The stuff that we use right across the board is this Koyo green chromium oxide. And maybe when Kevin comes back, he can give us a little more. I'm not sure exactly what the grit is, but I've been using this stuff for the last, nearly 7 years I've worked here. And it's great, that on a felt wheel or something brings it right up to a polish. I replied to you there. Hopefully it works. Let me know if it works or not there, drop tuned. I don't know how to use a computer very well. So, but yeah, that green chromium oxide paired with a suede strop. The strops that we have are suede on one side and then Latigo leather on the other. So what's really nice about using that is you put your chromium oxide paste on the suede, and then that is really good for grabbing a burr and yanking it off, right? And then the smooth leather, just like a hanging strop, polishes up that edge. So now Charminator, I don't know if you've asked it again since. I don't think it did not pop up if you asked before we went live. So, I'm going to make Kevin quiet. That's terrible noise.
Do you like?
I'm just going to mute you for a moment, Kevin. You give me a thumbs up when that noise is impossible. Okay. All right, cool. Now you're doing it. You're not. That's not fair. Drop tuned. Yeah, suede for the chromium oxide. Now,
Sometimes, Chris, you get your knife from Knifewear. There's a little piece of paper in it. That's because that's one of the ones we use to test. This one, by the way, passes the test. This is a 100% perfectly accurate example of a Kokuto 210 Yuto. By the way. Anyway, you're going to see me doing weird things like that for the show because I'm busy.
Kevin's been put to work today. Kevin's been put to work. So, Charminator, sorry, I did not see your question didn't come through before we went live. So if you want to copy and paste that for me, please do. Please do. I'd be happy to answer it for you. E30 Birdie, who's probably got one of my favorite YouTube handles, is still obsessed with the Tetsujin. That was there for the garage sale. Yeah. I had to look it up again, to be honest, as a bit of a reminder. But that's got some real, that knife is going to be a real kind of part of like the Knifewear legacy, right? Like, if Toru is involved,
Yeah. Well, Toru.
I never got to meet Toru, but
he was Naoto's roommate actually.
Oh, okay.
Toru worked with us. He'd actually moved to Calgary from Vancouver to get a job with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was in Canada on one of those kind of working holiday visas, trying to make some money and learn some English, that sort of thing. And he read an article about the shop in the Globe and Mail.
I remember that article. I got a copy of it on the wall.
Yeah, so we read this article in the Globe and Mail and thought, this is cool. I'm gonna go and see these guys need a job or have a job for me. And moments of talking with him, we realized that we had to hire him. He'd had experience with a blacksmith as a sharpener previously, and he wanted to eventually end up being a blacksmith, and now he is. So that's pretty exciting. He's left us his bass guitar. It hangs on the wall.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of part of it too, right? That's why we've all got a guitar in the shops.
Yeah, I think we had the guitars on the walls already before his guitar showed up. Maybe.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Maybe. Actually, you know what? You might be right. His might have been the first guitar on the wall, but his guitar is still playable. You pick it up and play it, plug it in.
Yeah. No, we've still got an amp and a guitar around here somewhere. Running out of wall space, though. We're getting there's a lot of cool stuff coming into the shops.
I wouldn't trust a knife shop that didn't have guitars and amps ready to go. Would you?
No, not at all. Not at all. So here, what else we got? We got Blades of Sun 135 oval should be great. Okay, so the name of that Blades of Sun, I'm gonna type it in here. It is the Haruyuki Kokuto. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Kokuto. There we go. Yeah, that's a great line.
That's actually the one I just unpacked here.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. No, Ginsan makes a great, like, especially if that knife's going to work. That's a perfect knife. Adrian, our buddy Chef Max, has given us a little bit of a A little bit of a high five about shipping. Ordered a knife on Sunday, got it on Tuesday.
Sounds like a Craig David song, isn't it? I don't know.
Could be. Maybe.
Maybe
And our
it's-
bud Don Penny
Song.
said Canada Post rerouted one of his knives, but he got his Donabe today, so that's good. I want to, when we get those, see, we ran out in Ottawa. Everyone got too, I think I got too excited about them and talked them up too much because I didn't get a chance to buy one.
I didn't get one either.
But I think next time around, I'm totally going to do it.
That's okay. Naoto and I are, right after this, I got a meeting with Naoto where we're going through a new kitchen supply catalog. So there you go. We're gonna be ordering more Donabes and things like that.
Yeah. No, it'll be a lot of fun.
What
Oh,
is-
okay.
Do you know about this knife, Chris? So again, it's Hadayuki. So this is their new packaging.
Oh, yeah, but the robot.
Robot guy, and what does he say? He says, "Built for kitchen success." So that little robot guy is going to be on their packaging now. So they got this weird yellow packaging. I love it, with these square confettis. Anyway, this is the Zampa.
Yeah, those are, I got one of those here too.
Do you?
Yeah.
But it's a polished, swirly Damascus pattern. Like it's really, really cool.
Oh, and you know what I've been enjoying? I've been really enjoying these like one-piece hardwood handles.
Do you know what?
Like-
when I first started seeing these, they weren't as good because they were making them of soft woods. But when they
Yeah.
make them of oak, it actually works.
Yeah.
And I think
I
they
guess-
have a really modern look to it as well.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's why they put a collar on like the handles, right? It's like a harder, more durable material up where it counts, right?
Anyway, these Zampa, I think,
Yeah.
if we're going to talk about Christmas knives, stainless steel AUS 8 or AUS 10. So they're hard and they'll stay sharp for a long time. We get them blazing sharp, but they're not so hard that they're super brittle. Because
Yeah.
when a gift, they don't always have the experience you do with Japanese knives. So they
Yeah.
don't always treat things the best, right? So it's good to give them something, I think, that's stainless steel, so it's not going to rust. Something that's going to take a bit of a punishment possibly. I don't want punishment, but treat a bit rougher, right? And then it has to look cool. So when they open the box, they go, wow, right? And when they see a knife like this in the box,
Oh, I know. Well, I think there's something to it.
pattern on that, man. It's so wild.
Yeah.
I love,
Oh, no, it's crazy.
really love these. I don't know about you, but I love these, man. I love them.
Yeah. Well, I like, you know, when you get a knife that looks like that, like people kind of know to take care of it too. Like it looks special, so they treat it special. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully they do, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they do.
So,
We're all knife nerds here. We all get it.
all right. So here I'm just trying to stay on top of our questions. Charminator. I don't know if you know anything about this, Kevin. Charminator heard a rumor that Sakimaru knives were going to be stopped being made in Sakai because they look too much like swords. Heard it on Facebook to a guy who dealt with a wholesaler. Maybe just that wholesaler? I don't know. I don't know about Sakai. What do you know?
I'll go talk to actually tell you what I'll do. I'm going to walk down the hall and ask it now, Joe. But that
Okay.
that sounds like a Facebook story. That sounds like Facebook nonsense.
Kind of sounds like someone blaming COVID, you know?
Yeah, it sounds kind of like. But everybody that gets the vaccine dies.
Yeah. I don't know, Terminator. Kevin's going to go ask Nalto.
Do you know what? People get the vaccine. It's good for you.
Yeah. Corey says there's a platitude that is better for professionals in a busy environment to have a thicker workhorse Gyuto as their main knife as opposed to a laser. I think you need one of each, Corey.
I always had knives that I could just beat up badly, and I've always had really precise knives too in restaurants.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got a really terrible memory of dropping my Takeda in the middle of service on the floor and then kicking it under the stove. And I remember lying on the ground flicking matches under the stove and the long tongs to just try to retrieve this. Of course, I dropped a black knife into the darkness under the stove. I dropped it and kicked it. And it survived. So
well, there you go.
Yeah, you know what? You don't always, I don't know, I guess it depends how you're going to take care of things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a platitude that you should have, but have good ones too. Like, it's your job, right? Like, a good tool is going to make you do your job. Period.
Yeah. Well, I also find
it
it
down the hall, and I grab Naoto and ask him what he thinks of this Sakamaru business, because he's got his ear on the ground. He's talking to everybody daily, right? And he's even from Sakai. So we'll see what he has to say, but I suspect it's Facebook nonsense.
Okay. I find too, Corey, like in that situation, like Kevin's saying, you kind of need one of each. Like,
Sorry, Chris, we're in a hurry, right? We need this information quickly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So fast. Oh, not that fast. Oh, Kevin, now I've already been shielding you from the people asking about the bike. It's a wonder. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right. Well, Corey, you know what? You can have both, to be perfectly honest. Some tasks require thinner knives. Sometimes you need something you can just like I've got this old global, like this 10-inch global chef's knife. That's what I use for all my nasty jobs, So, Thomas Elliott giving us a high five about some shipping. Well, thank you. Yeah, with all of our international orders, we use a DHL, and they usually get it through in a day or two. So, they're really fast, and they take good care of the stuff too. Sven, I know that Kevin. I'll write this down. I know that Kevin got a knife during garage sale. I didn't. I bought a couple of small wares though. I bought like one of those weird little butter knives, the Eatco butter knives. I really wanted a Danabe, but I didn't get one. They all sold out on me. So I'm gonna write this down. What did Kevin get? Because who knows? He's on his bicycle now. He could be just running into everything over there now again. What did Kevin get at garage sale? Okay, I'll ask that when he comes back. MRK, for me, the thing that makes me treat a knife special is the feel of it cutting food. If it doesn't feel good, I don't really care what the finish looks like. I think I would agree with you 9 times out of 10. But I think when you're given a knife as a gift, that visual reminder is pretty powerful. Like if you give someone not to give them a hard time, but like a Tojiro DP looks like a lot of things, right? Like it looks like a lot of other knives. So people might not give it the respect it deserves. But when you get something with some crazy patterning or whatnot, they smarten up a little bit. And Damon says there's a certain amount of mysticism surrounding Takedas. Maybe you mean like, did it not get destroyed because Kevin punted it and it was some sort of magic, Japanese knife magic? What else did it do? Oh, okay. Drop Tuned has a good question while we're on the topic of Takeda knives. I own some nice knives, but not Takeda. For a guy that has a lot of knives of all shapes and sizes. Yeah, what's up?
He's back on the penny farthing.
I know. I muted it because of the beeping.
I was going to get a lock and chain it up to stop him from doing this, but I thought he wouldn't do it again. But here we are.
Here we are. I had also said the same thing. You just got to get a bike lock on it and not give him the key.
Listen, you needed an answer and you needed it fast.
But then
fastest way I know to get to Naoto's desk is riding a bike.
It's true. But then you could get a 200 stone.
You don't know how big this warehouse is, Chris. It's like...
And cut through the...
I do know how big it is. I've been there.
4.5 kilometers from here.
Yeah. I think I got to lay eyes on it before.
One of the warehouses from NASA. So this is where they actually build the rocket in this.
Oh, yeah? That's where they did where they studied the Manhattan Project, was in that.
We studied the Manhattan Project too, Nathan and I, but that had to do with how many cherries should go into Manhattan. That was a different Manhattan Project we had.
Different Manhattan Project.
Does anybody want to know the news about Sakamaru?
Yeah, what's the Sakamaru news?
The Sakamaru news is Naoto said, well, people say stupid things on Facebook that aren't true all the time. Why would you think that, Kevin?
Mm.
And then he threw in the extra nugget of, I talked to Aoki-san yesterday, who owns Sakai Takayuki, like the biggest
Mm-hmm.
company in Sakai. And if it would have been a news,
He'd have shared that.
Yeah.
He'd have shared that, yeah.
There you go.
So that was nice of you to take the hit there, because I don't think anyone here could imagine Naoto saying something so rude, but you took it for them.
He saves it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He saves all of it for me. He's very brave.
That happens. So Drop Tuned is wondering, for someone who doesn't have a Takeda,
Such a 90s guitarist. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
so for someone who does not have a Takeda, because we were talking Takeda as you kicked one under the stove, what is the shape, the size and shape that screams Takeda? Like what is the knife? I think I know the answer, but
240 Guto.
240 Guto. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
You know what? I think every maker has like a signature size and shape, or maybe two or three. But here you go. You want to talk about signature knives from each maker that we deal with? Let's do a few.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's do it.
Opinion, Takeda 240.
Yeah.
His Gutos are the most unique shape he makes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are. A 240 is the right length. It's the length that just screams, this is a Takeda knife.
Yeah.
With the more attack is, I think it's their Hanazukus now because they're just amazing. But that's a whole different story. But I think it's their slicers because they're very shallow.
Mm-hmm.
I like the shape of them, super long. But I also think it's their Nikiris because they're flat.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Nikiri of the dead flat. And I think that's really cool. Fujimoto,
Yeah.
especially with the hammer tone, it's that slicer.
Yeah. Yeah. With the cool little
So cool. The tip is
little
so
slanty
cool.
tip.
So cool.
Yeah.
Who else can we talk about?
What about Fujiwara?
signature? Fujiwara?
Probably
Do you know
210
a lot of
Guto,
Fujiwara
right?
knives? You know, I got a lot of Fujiwara knives. I got three
Yeah.
210 Denkas. 210
Yeah.
Guto. I think the 210 Guto's got the right balance. And it's got a really great. I love the shape of the edge. Like
Yeah.
the-
Western handle too, right?
and Western handle, better balance. I don't like. I think that his Japanese handle knives feel flat. I don't think they feel graceful, but the Western handle feels super graceful. My opinion only.
Yeah. Some people would disagree with you, but
Yeah, but they'd be wrong. But that's okay. They can have their opinions.
yeah. Well, as long as they get the knife they like, right?
Yeah. What else? Who else do we want to talk about?
Well, Masashi, you were going to say Masashi, but I cut you off.
Masashi. I like his 240 Denkas or his 240 Gutos. I like his 240 Kiritsuke's. Every now and again, he makes some 150s, some 150 Gutos.
Mm-hmm.
That I think is a special knife from him.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool. My mom has one.
She has the 150 Petty, doesn't she?
No, the Masashi got a 150 Guto.
I love
It's
that. His 150.
she's got a 150 Kotetsu.
Okay. Kotetsu is the little bunk, the Kobunka they make.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think that's like the real
Yeah.
Kotetsu shape. Although some people will say it's the what they call the battleship.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a 195 Guto.
We have that we deal with a lot. I'm sorry, I'm just watching things go on in the warehouse. Like
Yeah.
somebody that doesn't work here is changing light bulbs, but now he's moving pallets around. I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, maybe he's trying to get a job.
Completely.
Maybe he liked the bit you said about recycling and he wants a job.
He liked that I didn't run him over when I rode my bicycle around.
He knew to be afraid. he felt spared. We're getting a lot of love on here about shipping. Damon got a package in 3 days, even though it went through the Mississauga choke point. We got our buddy Fred down in Pennsylvania, got a knife from Ottawa to Pennsylvania in 2 days. People are picking on you about the bike. And someone's trying to get us to talk about the Switzerland flag.
Hey, you want to know something? We got some Conros. Do you guys like Conro grills?
I like Conroe grills.
Well, look at that. That's the problem. I've got the wrong camera on here. Maybe just put a different camera on.
Oh, there you go. Look at those.
Big stack of Conroe just rolled by to add to those Conroes over there. So if you like the Conroe action.
Oh, that's exciting. Someone was asking me about that today. Here, we got a question.
You're in good hands. It's here, baby.
We got a question from Ben. Knifewear between a 240mm Nigara SG2 Kiritsuke and a 240mm Kotetsu Gyuto, which would... Yeah, I skipped that because you don't really need to say it because they all got that. No, I'm just trying to be nice. I don't know. I'm going to turn this off. You don't change that attitude.
I'm going to turn you off.
So, which would be best to give as a gift for a home cook in terms of ease of use, maintenance, and chip resistance? Oh, I turned you back on as soon as you started flipping me off.
I wasn't doing that.
We all saw it.
Inspecting a knife handle box.
Yeah. Okay, well, here, what do you think, Kevin? Because these are very similar knives.
Do you know what? I think those Kotetsus are great. I love how Shibata-san grinds them. I love how Ikeda-san forges them. I've got that Nigara he's talking about.
Yeah.
That knife gives me goosebumps.
I'm just looking to see. I might have a very practical answer for him.
Oh,
I do.
I'm going to go find my strop now.
Okay. That one needs a touch up. Ben, I would say I'm kind of with Kevin. I've got a 210 Kotetsu at home, and I do really like it. But I think the Nigara ticks a couple more of the gifty boxes for me. One thing that Kevin and I have talked about a lot in the past about giving a knife as a gift is there's three main things you want to focus on, right? First one is ease of care, right? They're both stainless steels, so neither is going to really rust on you. And maintenance and chip resistance, I'd put them both in the same category, to be honest. Like, I think they're both a relatively thin knife. If your friend or family member chops like a jackhammer, or it might not be the right knife for them. But if they are a little more delicate, they're not a troublemaker. Meki's like creeping around here like some sort of like cartoon cat. If you're between the two, like, I don't know. For me, I like the Nigara because it's also a little bit flashier looking. Like that Tsuchime or Kurochi, or like that patterning on the blade. Kind of says a lot to a lot of people, especially when they're opening it up. That being said, a Kotetsu has still got that very classic Migaki polished look, right? So I think you'd have to really, the biggest difference between the two is what do you think your friend or family, like whoever's getting it, what would they appreciate as far as aesthetics? I've read like the Kotetsu. Oh, shit. The Kotetsu is a fairly thin blade. I've muted him because of the smashing. But I might go Nigara just because of the I don't know, the Tsuchime finish. Do you have an opinion, Kevin? The 240 Nigara versus the Kotetsu as a gift?
It's the SG2, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Kotetsu, if it's a gift, because I think it's a little bit like they're neither of those are rugged knives, but I think the Kotetsu. Yeah. So I'm just using the strop here because this knife just needed a bit. I think it's a gift, the Kotetsu. I think if it's for somebody who's really au fait with Japanese knives, I don't tell Shibata-san, but I'd say the Nigara.
Ooh.
Yeah. But then again, like I might change my mind next week. It's just the one I love this week,
Yeah. Well, for the record, Ben, we have the Nigara is in stock and the Kotetsu is not. So that helps. Oh, our buddy
It's too noisy here.
I know I keep muting you, but it's always I don't catch it in time because I'm not known for my speed, you know. Our buddy Admiral Longstash, I haven't spoken with him in quite some time. Please continue on with the shapes and makers. What Kiritsuke and at what length from which maker and a max 500 Canadian dollars would you suggest? I own
So 500 small Canadian dollars.
500 small Canadian dollars.
Well, I know
Which
which one.
Kiritsuke?
You've got a Masashi and a Mortaka, correct?
I do, yes. Yeah. Now my Masashi is not a max of $500 because I have the Kuroshu. But I guess that's not a Kirit. The one I have is not a Kiritsuke, it's a Gyuto. But he does make the Shiro shoe, but that's not a max $500. That's like a $700 knife. But it's beautiful and it's worth every penny. So even though it's outside of your criteria, I'm going to throw it out there. I do have a Moritaka. I've got a 240 Moritaka that I was very, very hard on during my professional days. Strongly recommend if you think they're up to. Admiral Longstash knows a thing or two about a thing or two. So you think the recipient is up to a bit of carbon care. I wouldn't think twice about it. Kotetsu 240, Nigara 240. You know what? If you want a real, just like a tough one, don't we have Kiritsuke's coming?
Chris, just quick, make my picture bigger. Look at this one.
I just got to remember how to do that. Oh, you made just
smaller. Wrong one.
Well, I don't know which way it chooses.
Okay, come on, focus there. There we go. Look at this one. Oh my bananas. Look at that.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. You told me yesterday on the phone, Kevin, we had a bunch of Kiritsuke's coming.
Oh yeah.
What were they? Are those are Kokotos, right?
Kokoto. You got a bunch of Kokoto.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That would be a great gift, Longstash.
I'm unpacking the box from Hariyuki right now, but the only Kokoto I had was that 1-210 Yuto. The rest are all petties from Zanpa, which I keep showing you. Man, some of these are so beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming through about how pretty it is.
Soba.
Oh, those are. I've got one of those here too. I got a Santoku.
We should really look at these Sobas, because these are.
Yeah, these are. Oh, I got a Nikiri here. I like them.
Can't get it. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Oh man.
Wow. And it's so thin and light. Like this is a really carry.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of an interesting steel too. They're ZA18. Probably a ZA18 elsewhere, but
so a really good option again for a gift.
Yeah, you kind of got to try to hurt it. It's not going to rust. That's the big one. I think that's the one that stresses people out the most is rust showing up and they weren't expecting it. You know. Maybe
do you know how much I like receiving knives, Chris? Because I honestly just get to play with knives for X amount of time.
Yeah,
I'm quite a fan of it, and then I get to see some really great edges.
Our buddy Andrew M recently got his Moritaka Aogami Super Ishime Hanazuki. He's going to give it a try on a chicken later today. And you know what? We're up to a couple people who said that glad you're okay after your tumble. Andrew M says glad you're okay after the fall, Kevin.
Did you know that we have 50 something staff, and of the 50 people that I work with, Alex, the assistant manager in Ottawa,
Yeah.
He was the only one that cared and asked if I was okay. Nobody
Yeah.
else did.
That's not true. I did call you.
Weirdly, Alex is the only one getting a Christmas bonus.
Yeah, I called you the next
Yeah,
morning after I saw,
Can you share that? It wasn't very nice.
and I said, "Hey, are you all right?" You know, and you were busy, so you just got off the phone real fast. I think you were dragging one of your youngsters all over the place. I don't know what knife Top Dog is asking about. How thick is it? Probably the Zanma Petty.
He's asking
Yeah.
about this. And I don't have my calipers here or even a measuring measuring bat.
A
But-
measuring bat? Is that what we're calling rulers now? Measuring bat.
Probably. The spine is probably 1.5 millimeters.
Hmm.
So it's a pretty thin petty. It's not so thin that it's going to bend.
Yeah, I hate that when that happens.
Chris, can you hear me when I turn off my microphone?
Not when you turn it off. No.
I just turned it off. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I thought you meant muting yourself.
No, I thought I
got-
had. But for whatever
No.
reason. There, can you hear me now?
I can still hear you. Yep. Not now. Not now. I think that's why everyone tunes into Japanese Knife 101 is for the technical difficulties and watching us fumble around with computers.
Did you like that I just poked my finger and jumped? Did you see the jump?
Oh, I saw a little bit of a hop. Yeah. So the sign, I think Fighting Usyk might be taking the piss out of me here. He says, "What does the sign behind Kevin say?" And I'm pretty sure he's talking about that chopstick challenge sign. Oh no, it's that one. I didn't even see that. It's camouflaged. Will it sharpen? That's pretty fun. You gonna tell us what that has to what that came from, Kevin?
Yeah, sometimes we sharpen stuff.
Yeah, but that's from. Isn't that from that like that's from an event or something?
We used to do
You look
these.
like an asshole.
There's a great event in Calgary called Beakerhead, and it's where art, engineering, and science all collide. So we get it's sometimes you get some real Burning Man kind of things, performances, that sort of thing, and sometimes like my buddy Raj and Dr. Dagley, Dr. Denka, we call him up in Edmonton. Sometimes they'll come down to Calgary and just blow up different gases. Like they fill up balloons with different gases and blow them up and see how that goes. So they just do weird stuff. We used to do something called Will It Sharpen. We used to get a bunch of lights and just kind of decorate our area with a bunch of Christmas lights. It was nighttime, right? And it was always cold. It's always cold because it'd be September or October, and it was evening, and it usually drizzly. But we would do an event called Will It Sharpen, and we would have some friends bring us stuff and say, hey, can you sharpen this? Then we'd have tests, right? Somebody brought us a coin once. They're like, can you sharpen a penny? Or it was a loonie, which is a Canadian $1 coin. Yeah, we can sharpen it and could cut a tomato skin really easily, but it's hard to make a sandwich with that. But Chris, you know how we go to this one place for catering in Calgary where they cut
I remember the story. Yeah.
So badly. They cut the vegetables so badly. They make these carrot sticks and these cucumber sticks that are just, well, how can you describe them, Chris?
It looked like it looked like someone put it through like a floor fan that you'd it's a hot summer day and you've got the fan at the foot of your bed. It looks like someone just like fed it through that with a bucket underneath.
Yeah, and I just so we decided to get a fan and sharpen. We found a fan with metal blades and sharpened it up and started throwing cucumbers and stuff through it. Didn't work.
I saw the craziest thing. I saw the craziest thing on Instagram earlier today. I'm going to see if I can show it. It's someone, I don't know if you can read it. It says, oh, get out of here, you stupid thing. Can you see it, Kevin? It says, can you sharpen pasta? Oh, and this guy is sharpening a lasagna sheet. He gets it to cut a tomato in the end.
No.
I think it's just because pasta's like kind of jagged, but I thought it was kind of funny.
We sharpened a Brian Adams cuts like a knife record LP.
Oh yeah,
It's really hard.
I imagine. So, well, what are you working on now? What are you pulling out now? What do you got? Oh, you're muted. Oh, they're gone. They're gone. You know what? I got an email
I
from.
turned you off because it was too noisy here. So every time he
okay.
puts that stupid beep machine on, I'm just going to turn you off.
I got an email from our buddy Peter Brown, which is really funny. I was thinking about Peter yesterday. Sometimes we call him PJ. I got an email from him. He told me a good joke.
Was it? I don't know much about Switzerland, but the flag's a big plus.
No, but it was about I replied to him. I said, well, Kevin had actually texted me this joke not too long ago, and I friggin' fell for it like a dummy. But had you heard that the president of IKEA, the founder of IKEA, was elected the president of Sweden? And things are going okay, but he's busy assembling his cabinet. Kevin sent me that as a text, and I fell for it. I didn't understand right away that it was a joke. And then Peter sent me that as an email. Peter watches a lot of the videos we do. But I was thinking about Peter yesterday because he last Christmas, he gave me some Star Wars Christmas lights that we put up in the store. So I got a string of Stormtrooper helmets and a string of BB-8, like the new movies version of R2-D2. I don't know why they gotta, don't fix it if it ain't broke, but whatever. It's a cute little robot, I guess. So, because now that we're approaching Christmas, I think everyone is aware of that. That's why we're supposed to talk about what knives to give as gifts. But if you're rolling through the glebe and you're wondering where my store is, look for the one that looked like Christmas barfed, because that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm looking for like Frosty the Snowman had too much to drink and threw up on the front of my store. Christmas lights and tinsel, and we had someone come and paint the windows. That was fun. I can't hear you, Kevin. You're still muted.
This is an excellent point. This has been a really tough year again. I don't know if you've noticed. There's been this
I
whole...
have noticed.
It's been a pandemic, which is a worldwide demic. And this has been a hard year, right? So it's nice that we can do things like make the front of our store look really crazy so that people just come by at night, walking or riding their bike or driving. They can look at it and just go, wow. Hopefully get a good laugh, right? Hopefully they're going to see our shop and get a good laugh because it's fun, right? It's fun what we're doing, I think. And we just want to make people kind of smile when they see the shop because it's fun.
Last year, we had a little competition between the shops, like a little for fun, And I think like Kevin and his family voted on who did the best job. But I stole a whole bunch of Christmas lights from friends and family. And so I could spend my Christmas budget on this cardboard cutout of the Big Lebowski. So...
As this pandemic goes, the longer it goes, the more I look like the dude.
Yeah,
I
had a guy. No, I met up with some of my motorcycling friends the other day, and I took my helmet off, and one of the guys, he said, "Jesus, you need a haircut," and I was like, "Well, I thought that was okay, And he's like, "Yeah, we're bikers, not members of Supertramp." And I was like, "Oh,
aging him as well."
Yeah, I know. But that's all right.
You're not allowed to have long hair?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess they're not. I don't know. You know what I meant to say earlier, Kevin? I want you to guess. This is a fun game, I think. I want you to guess what knife I want for Christmas.
Are you going to give me a hint or do I just have to guess?
I'm going to give you a couple of hints.
Okay, I like this game. I'm listening.
It's a strange lengthed Guto with a wah handle.
A strange length Guto with a wall handle.
So I mean, it's not like a 210 or a 240.
I understand. Yeah. It's not 210, 240. So it could be a 195 with a wall handle like Fujiwara makes, but I'm not going to guess that. So you have a lot of Fujiwaras. I was holding something the other day. It was a 225. What was that? It was a 225, and I really liked it.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Who? Don't tell me. I'm going to
won't.
ponder here. Oh, it's the Gurin.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Doy Gurin. Do you have one there? Yeah. Hey.
This knife is perfect for me.
I want one. In fact, I don't want one. I'm going to have one. I think I might bring it home today.
Alex bought a Nikiri yesterday.
That Nikiri's a wild shape.
Yeah.
Like a really wild shape.
I think he already has a Nikiri too. I think he has a koi Nikiri. Now, I know it's not crazy for us to have more than one of one shape.
Do you remember Rob that used to work with you? He was before your time. He had seven. He had
Big
7
mustache Rob?
Nikiris by the end. He had 7 of them.
You know what Mike told me his next knife is going to be? Mike Rinch.
Oh, can I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Mike Rinch's next knife.
And it would tick a lot of gift boxes.
Oh, see, I was going to go the other way. I was going to say it was going to be a black carbon steel knife, but it's not. So he's going to be going for something stainless and something pretty.
Yeah.
What would Mike go for that's stainless and pretty that Mike really wants? Kisuke Manaka.
No. I'll tell you the shape.
Really? I would think Manaka. Okay.
Well, that's not the one he told me. He might have a whole wish list. It's a Santoku, and it is black.
He's not going for dank, is he? He's not that cliched, is he?
No.
Because I would.
Yeah.
He's going for another Santoku. He's got that Mizaki Santoku as it is that he loves.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Fujiwara Nishiji Santoku. He's got a Mortaka Santoku. Do you think he likes Santokus?
I think he likes Santokus.
I don't know. What is it? Tell me. I can't.
It's a Kuroshu. Masashi Kuroshu Santoku.
Oh, he used mine the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I don't know. We were talking about something completely different. And it came out of nowhere, completely out of left field. He's like, you know what knife I want? I guess that's not completely out of left field. A lot of our conversations start that way. E30 Birdie says a lot of people in forums say 225 is the perfect length and most reach for in their kitchen. I need to try one as I only have a 210 and a 240 and a 180 Nikiri.
Well, I believe you that it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody tell us, is anybody nice to us on forums? I never go.
I don't know. I don't look. You know what? I tend to get really...
Somebody said something mean about me on a forum once, years ago, and I never went back.
Yeah. Well, I get my back up pretty quick when I feel that I'm dealing with opinions and not facts. You know? And I like to cause trouble, so it's not a good mix for me. I like to talk a lot of shit, so...
Chris Lord, I like you. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, you know, there's a reason why we get along so well. MRK just said the fishmonger just stopped at their door, got some trout and some pickerel. That sounds good. I cooked fish over the weekend. I don't do that very often.
Do you have anything to say about fish or fish salesmen today? Did you get any new books recently?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my girlfriend, she works as she's a library technician for the school board. So she goes through, and one of her big jobs lately has been culling the...
She's running the burning books department.
Yeah. But she found this book, which from like the 60s, she said, and it's a series of books called Women at Work. And it's a series of books about jobs women can have. Now, I'm not... Please, do not interpret this as me agreeing with these books. All right, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that women are only allowed to have certain jobs. I don't believe that for 1 second. Neither does Kevin. I feel like I could say that for both of us. You okay? But here's a book which is particularly funny
Chris,
because
actually,
we've got to know
I believe there are jobs women can have.
all of them.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah, that's the
All of
rate.
them. I gotta say, we just got our first Calgary. Calgary. It's what do we use it? 2021. We just got our first female mayor. Can you believe it? I can't believe.
That's crazy.
Anyway, happy that
But
it
this
happened.
book-
Can't believe it took this long.
This book is called Ellie Sells Fish, Women at Work. And then she had me laughing because she said, friggin' Ellie, technically that's not even a fish.
No, it's crustacean.
There's a lobster sitting there. Come on, Ellie, get your shit together.
Well,
Good thing our Ellie pays a bit more attention. I bet you that lady's name isn't even Ellie. 0% chance that her name is Ellie.
well, our Ellie's name is Ellie.
Yeah, our Ellie's name is
She's
Ellie,
the
but not
reason
this
why
one.
she's the reason why our website works. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's not you or me. That's for
This
sure.
over here is Brenda. See,
That's a Brenda over
she's
there.
waving, and it's Justin over there.
She's like
Brenda.
a kilometer away.
Brenda ate my lunch today.
Oh, did she? Is that why you were
So,
eating
I
tater
come to work,
tots?
I
with
bring lunch
chopsticks?
all the time. And Brenda just went through the thing and just like looked for the best looking lunch and stole it. It was mine. And then she tried to blame it on Naoto.
And you know what? If
None of
she
that's
got
true.
None
of
real
that's
aggressive about it, I'd have let her. I wouldn't get in Brenda's way. She's tough. She works in a
Do you know how
warehouse.
much she can deadlift? She's strong. And Sam works here. He just got a new car.
Oh yeah?
Clearly, his name. There's a white Audi SUV parked out front with the license plate Boyden too. So I didn't know Sam's last name was Boyd, and he's given us a fake last name.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his last name.
Yeah, no, it's because it's not the name he gave us, so he just clearly lied.
No.
Sam Boyden II, Boyden the second, drives a brand new white Audi SUV. And you know how I know it was him? Because he said he was going to buy a new car. And I just found out I've been lied to. His first name's not Sam, it's Bruce. Bruce Sam
Boyden.
II,
Wow.
Sam Boyden
Look at
II.
that.
with a brand new Audi.
Wow.
Yeah, who knew?
Maybe I should come out to work at the warehouse.
Why do people watch this, Chris?
I don't know. But there's
You should
more
do the
now
housekeeping.
than there was when we
You
started.
should do the,
Oh,
you
let's
should
do
do
the
the
housekeeping.
whole. You should do the like and subscribe stuff. I'll put
Oh,
something
yeah.
up, and you should
Yeah.
say all the things that you should do.
Okay, so, well, you know what? We've got like our good video that comes out once a month called Sharp Knives Rock. We got one coming up on December 6th. It's our Christmas spectacular. And
Which we
clear-
didn't pre-tape, obviously.
No. It'll be live. It'll be live. You'll be able to tell that it's live. There's zero. You know what I will tell you? I'll give you guys a little teaser. I'm not faking it in that video.
It's true.
Nothing about that video is fake coming out of me.
True. Minty
The
fresh
amount-
breath too.
Yeah,
Minty
the amount of peppermint schnapps that you see in the scenes is going to be legit, and no one else drank any.
I
So,
drank my shot.
Yeah,
Get into
well,
the Christmas spirit.
I went back for more.
You went back for a lot, and then at the end of it, my wife asked me, "What happened? Why is there so much schnapps gone?" And I said, "I drank coffee." Go smell Chris's breath.
Yeah. Oh no, Terminator. Okay, we're not disliking and unsubscribing anymore. It turns out that if you dislike and unsubscribe, it's bad. But what's good is when you like and subscribe. Oh, Kevin, you're making me look like an idiot again. But you know what happens? Sometimes with Sharp Knives Rock, when we ask you to like and subscribe, you might win a knife. You like and subscribe, you answer a couple questions. You know, we gave away a Miyazaki knife, one of those Hakata Gyutos last month, didn't we? A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
We did.
Before that, we gave away a knife bag jam packed with goodies and some gift cards.
Yeah,
That was cool.
and we've given away a. What was the first one we gave away? Was it a Manaka?
Was it? No. I can't remember what the first one
We're
was.
giving away a Fujimoto slicer.
We're giving a Sujihiki away, so you got something to cut up your turkey with. or whatever you eat. Do people eat other things than turkey on Christmas? People do.
Ham?
I've heard of
Go for
hams.
I'll
Yeah.
go for ham.
I wouldn't mind a Christmas ham. One time I made a turkey for my parents. I was out of culinary school. I've been working in restaurants for a few years, and I volunteered to cook the turkey. And I was given a turkey from work. I worked at the Dorito Club. They gave us a turkey for Christmas. And
Nice. I like that. I like that move. That's kind of nice.
yeah. And then there was someone who was being contrary, and I took their turkey too. They didn't want it, so I had 2 turkeys.
I didn't know
I was
Ivan worked
cooking.
at the Dorito Club.
Oh, there's more contrary people out there than just him. So I
didn't know my daughter worked at the Dorito Club.
yeah, I'm not contrary. I'm not a contrarian. That's what it is. And then so I remember I took the legs off. I didn't go for the whole bird because we're not like a, we're more of a like cafeteria line kind of family. Everything is made, and in the kitchen you go make your plate. It's not a bring the turkey out and carve it at the table kind of family.
Right.
So what I did is I took the legs off, I took the breasts off, I tied the breasts together to make 2 roasts, and I brined them, and I made a stock out of the bones, and then I braised the legs. And then, I made a nice gravy, and I go and I put all this together at my parents' house, and you know what my dad tells me? My dad tells me that the meat wasn't dry enough, and he likes my mother's more. And I told him that turkey dinner cost him the $20,000 it cost for me to go to school, and he's never getting another one. True story.
It wasn't dry
dinner
enough.
once.
You
It
know,
wasn't dry enough.
You like what you like, right?
I suppose
Your dad,
I
he likes dry
suppose.
turkey.
he does. I did think he just thought it was probably undercooked because it didn't hurt his mouth to chew it. Fuck. This was a while ago, too, as you can imagine. This was probably 10 years ago, and I won't. I don't lift a finger to help with dinner out there anymore. No. My mom's
Bad
disappointed,
man.
but I blame my dad.
You're a bad, bad man.
Yeah,
I like your dad.
he's all right.
He says a lot of nice things to me. He says a lot of shit about you, but he says a lot of nice things to me.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right.
Is there
I got
any other
peppermint
thing?
schnapps
Is
in this
there-
mug.
A few more questions?
I don't think so. I think they've dried up for about an hour and a half. People are commenting they appreciate the giveaways. That's for sure.
Well, I like free stuff too.
Yeah, a couple of good comments there. But yeah, it's a hammer tone Tsujihiki, isn't it? We're giving away in December.
Yeah.
I would know what the questions and stuff. I'd cheat, guys, and tell you what the questions were ahead of time. But to be honest, I can't remember because I drank a bottle of peppermint schnapps.
I think the questions were, what's the reindeer with the red nose? Who is Olive?
The other reindeer.
Yes. Don't
Yeah.
give away the answer.
I'm
And
pretty sure these aren't the questions.
and if you were part of the robotic Santa parade at Sakai, what role would you take?
Oh, I'd be in the green suit.
Green suit Santa. What is the best dad joke? Handy. Chris, you need to read this.
I don't know much about Switzerland,
No?
but their flag is a big plus.
That's pretty funny.
See, look, that was a gift to me from Chris Eltervug. A lot of people wonder why there's a Swiss flag up in my Japanese knife store, but that's why, because it was a present.
Listen, while I'm looking at this knife here, I see Ben's asked something about the universal knives. What's he saying?
Yeah, he says the universal design knives from Miki Hamono look like great gifts for anyone that has dexterity challenges. Could you demo both to show the grip sizes?
Oh, do you have those with you, Chris? If not, I can dig them out of here.
I think I know what he's talking about.
Brenda, now that you've eaten my lunch and you have lots of energy, do you you need a nap? It was a lot of gnocchi that I handmade. Do you know where the universal knives are? universal knives for the
Like Universal Studios.
with the strange handle ones, like for the people with dexterity problems. I'll be right back, guys. I'll get.
Oh,
this.
I know what that is. Now I understand what's going on. I would agree. I'll go get one too. I've only got one. I've only got one style. Give me a sec. I'll go get it. I've got one coming too. I'm going to admit I didn't know what they were called. And that's the truth.
That's what I found.
Did you find them? Meckie's gone to get one for me too.
Well,
I didn't know why.
I'm in the warehouse here.
I'm
So
sorry, I
this
just
is
didn't
the
know name.
knife here. This is one of them.
Yeah, I got the
And
other
it's-
one, Kevin.
Oh yeah, so it's for easy. So basically, it's a big, really ergonomically shaped handle, so it's easy to grip if you've got arthritis or grip strength problems. And the way you can use these, even it says, is you put the handle and the heel down, and then you just go forward like that. It's even easier because you don't have to kind of guide it very gently.
Yeah.
This one's the same, right? Again, it's got this big handle here, and you can put it on the board and do that.
Mm-hmm. You know
Pretty
what these
cool,
made
huh,
me-
Brenda? Tell you what, I think these are really, really excellent for people that want to keep cooking, but do have a hard time
Yeah.
with their
You
grip.
know-
They have a hard time holding a knife.
You know
I
what
think it's
who
really
these
clever.
made me think of was our buddy JD here in Ottawa. With yeah, his project's been a bit on hiatus, but if you're ever, you guys should keep an eye out for something called Barrier Buster. JD is a gentleman who's a customer of the store here. He's become a friend over the years, but that's what he specializes in, is designing kitchen tools for those with mobility issues. So
Ben is saying the Raku Maru. Raku Maru seems a bit small. I don't know. These are the only ones I've ever seen of this. So maybe Ben can give us a primer on these, because I don't really know much about them. I heard about them. I saw them in a magazine. Well, thanks, Brenda. I saw them in a magazine. I thought we should just get them.
yeah. Yeah. No, I thought they were pretty cool.
I'm sorry about the beep beeps back here today.
No, that's okay.
It's very
So what
beep,
was I
beep,
supposed to do? I was supposed to do the housekeeper.
Yeah,
So-
you talk about things that are coming up.
Yeah.
Christmas
Like-
issue of Sharp Knives Rock.
Christmas issue, Sharp Knives at Rock. That's going to be December 6th. We got a
and
Fujimoto
subscribe.
giveaway. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
And then probably we should, if Fighting Usyks around, he usually is the one that gives the stats. He's like, come on, guys, there's 20 of us watching, and only 2 liked it.
Yeah.
But I
only
think it's
2
because
likes.
nobody liked it.
It's because it's just a couple of boneheads yammering.
Yeah.
But you know what? Joe Rogan's really popular, and he's no smarter than we are. He's just high. Maybe that's the secret, Kevin. Maybe we just got to eat a bunch of brownies before we get going. A couple of Marv bars. You know? Imagine trying to explain that to the staff. What are you doing right now? Getting ready for my video.
I see Ben says the handle, he says, your hands seem not to be small. No, my hands are big. I've got big hands, Ben. I'm a big man. And those handles seem comfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I think they're
I
really clever.
I could picture using this knife for real. You know, this would just be, you know what else this would be a good knife for? And someone might, like, imagine working in a place that's a little more industrial, like a little less refined, Like imagine working at like Subway or somewhere with a knife like this. Like you wouldn't have to worry about like the new high school kids hurting themselves, but it's like an actual like a useful size. Do you know what I mean?
That's actually not a bad idea.
You know, like somewhere like that, or like, you know,
Or
like
teaching young kids to cook.
Yeah. I think there's something to that.
Do you know these Hadayuki knives? Some of them used to come not so sharp, but they're all really great now.
Yeah, I was going to say that hasn't been the case.
Like they've made an improvement, because what they do, they've got a sharpening machine that they throw the blades through. That's like it's a polisher and a rough sharpener, and then they do it by hand after. But they only use it by one stone. But I don't know if they upgraded the stone, or maybe they added a second stone, or they've got a new person doing it. But these are they're in really great shape now.
Oh yeah.
Because I used to there's the like they've all I've used the strop on all of them, but I haven't had to do anything else. Like I haven't had to use the none of them. There's none right now in the sharpening or straightening pile, which is great. Yeah, because maybe a couple years ago their knives were more rough and ready. Let's say. And we used to have to do a bit more work.
Well, I've been real happy with my Haruyuki knives.
Well,
I don't really remember. I don't really remember having. You get the occasional one where you put it on a stone or something, but you know, I don't find 9 times out of 10 they don't need anything outside of a straw. You know. So, well, I don't know. What did we?
I don't know if that guy's ever going to finish going up and down that elevator, that lift, but I keep
too much
muting
fun.
myself. It's just too crazy.
Oh, this is your friend, I think, Kevin. Jen Ostero. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
What knife would you suggest for Jen for Christmas? You know their collection.
Oh. I'm going to go walk down the island. I'm going to go walk down the island and grab something. Jen likes pretty things, and Jen likes nice things, and I think Jen should get one of these.
I wonder
because they're awesome.
Yeah. Is it a Masashi Shiroshu? That's what I would get for Jen. I don't know Jen personally, but they sound pretty cool. And if I could afford to, Jen, I would buy you a Masashi Shiroshu. But only after I got one for myself. Sorry to say, I'm a little greedy that way. What else do I need to tell you guys? You know what? Like, if you're trying to find something for Christmas, head into one of the stores if you're able to. You know, if you need any additional help, like if you didn't get a chance, or you're watching this video after it's aired or whatever, and you need a hand picking something out, and I mute them. Go to you send an email to hello@knifewear.com. That's the quickest way to get connected with someone to help you pick out something. Yeah, just HELLO@knifewear.com, and that'll send your email into the help desk. And then, there's, half a dozen people every day looking at that, and they'll get back to you pretty quick. Within the day, you'll have some great recommendations in the beginning of a good conversation. So that's a good way to go. If you're still watching and you're curious about knives as gifts, I'm all yours. Don't be shy. So I'm curious to see what he comes back with for Jen. What kind of ruckus is going on over there? No, he's just shouting. I don't have any other jokes for you guys. You guys want to watch that person sharpen the pasta again? I'll show you that. What else have I got? I must have things around me to show you that's more fun than just looking at me. You know what? This is a Haruyuki that's been around for a little while, but I'm a big fan of. Is the Mookie. So these guys, this is a 240 Gyuto. It's got a brown paca handle, and they're made out of something called AUS8, and that's a really durable steel. This knife is perfect for like a culinary student, young chef, anyone who's got to bring their knife to work. Oh, that's a good choice for Jet.
So this is from Kisuke Manaka. Manaka-san makes, oh, I'll take the plastic off. He makes really beautiful knives, because I know Jen likes beautiful knives, but also he makes really great knives. So this is probably someone she hasn't heard of. But if you look down this way, down the blade, if you look really carefully, you'll see that from the edge it gets sharp and it goes like this, and then it kind of gets narrower toward the spine. He makes his knives like a diamond shape, which means they don't sit on the knife magnet as well as at the knives, but they're super rugged and beautiful. And this one's made out of ATS 34 stainless steel, which is quite rugged and keeps sharp for a super long time. I think, Jen, you would love this guy. I think they're $4.92 for the Nakiri. So this is,
I think you're right. Yeah,
Manaka. Maybe we can put the name in the thing.
I'll type it in.
Okay. Manaka.
Itsuke.
And then this guy here is a bit more money, but this is the Kurosaki Senko Slicer. R2 powdered steel. And look at this handle. I love these acrylic handles. I've actually got this same handle. You see red and root beer colors and even some blues and sparkles in there. But I've got this same, look at the shape of it.
It's
I've got
crazy.
This same handle on a Kato Damascus knife, and I love it. I love looking at this handle. It reminds me of like everything good about a cool bowling ball. And that might sound weird, but I'm a big fan of these handles. Look at those.
Yeah. Oh, they're comfy too.
Right? Oh, they're beautiful. Like, look at how contoured they are, right? Like the shape of them, brilliant. It's built for any hand, even mine, which is huge, and even Jen's, which isn't so huge.
Yeah. They're incredible.
Yeah.
We've got a few with ironwood handles here in Ottawa.
Yeah,
It's
got a bit of a hunting knife feel, because I know that he had learned to make handles from Saji-san. Anyway, Jen, those are two. Where did you see Jen's question? I don't see it.
Well, I don't know. It's here. Oh, I just read it out to you. I could have popped it up on the screen.
But I didn't even see it in the comments.
Oh, well, she says set the Nakiri aside, please. I'll try to make it in this week.
I will. I don't see your comments anywhere.
Oh.
Well, tell you what, I'm just gonna call the Calgary shop to make sure that they've got one there. If not, I'll bring this one by.
Cool. And then we got, what else we got? We got Sean Coots, everybody's favorite Sean Coots, saying, hey, I miss Sean. I miss Sean Coots hanging out. You should come back and hang out more. And then Sven and Svin. Which cooking show is that? Like, is that Mike cutting up a pumpkin? What do you mean? Or are you talking about me wandering around Nathan's tiny house? Because I had fun doing that too. I know Mike likes doing his knife versus knife videos too. So, well, Spanish, there was a conversation about that bicycle today about someone was going to put a bike lock on it so that Kevin couldn't use it. But that didn't happen. And if you've only just tuned in, Kevin's already been on the bike to everyone else's terror. So maybe we could convince him to get on it and run it into an aisle of stuff. See if we can get a few things marked down for you. I don't know. It's kind of a bad tactic, but you know what? I'm going to call this last call for questions. I think we're done. Aside from our Christmas video leading into in December 6th, the Sharp Knives Rock Christmas Spectacular. I think we're done until the new year for live videos. Is that true, Kevin? No one's told me that I'm doing anymore. Oh, I can't hear you. I think you got your microphone turned off again.
It was noisy here.
Yeah. I don't think we're on the docket to get any more to do any more videos between now.
No,
and
because
holidays,
what
are we?
happens around Christmas is it gets really busy. at the
I
shop.
get busy.
And we all have, like, if you come to the Calgary shop, you're going to see me working there quite a few shifts this Christmas. There you go.
Oh, good. Sean's going to come by on Friday. That'll be nice. We can go get some pizzas. Sven has given me a bit of a high five for the breaking into Nathan's house and cooking. You know, I had fun doing that.
House. It's pretty easy. Yeah. I kicked the window in one day to steal his cat.
Yeah, I just lifted the roof and stepped inside.
It is not a big house.
Not a big house. It's a good size though. It's good for the two of them.
Perfect for the two of them and two cats.
Yeah. Eth. Do you know what size MRK is saying is cycling around while carrying knives safe if you've got them in blade guards?
That's why I started the company. I didn't have a car. I couldn't afford a car. I could only afford a bicycle. So I would ride around on my bicycle. Places, chefs would call me and say, "Hey, come to my restaurant and sell me a knife." So I'd show up at the restaurant with my bicycle with a bunch of knives in my backpack. So clearly it's safe. I live.
Yep. Mike is asking what size of conros have you got over there? Do you know what they are?
Well, I can look.
Chris, we got
the big ones.
The big Yakitori one? I know what the codes are if you can read the outside of the box.
All right, we got the big ones.
Yep. Big ones.
More big ones.
More big ones. These are probably the medium Conroe barbecue.
Yeah, Chris, we got the BQ8WF.
BQ8WF. So that's the one, that's the medium size Yakitori, which is that's the most popular one by far. So that's twice as long as that one there.
And here we got the small one too, Chris.
Okay, so that's the 8F, if I recall. The 8WF is the one that's twice as long. So that's what we've got there. Any chance for getting Knifewear hats or Hasegawa cutting boards to sell?
I have a bunch of Knifewear hats right now that we made for chefs. But if there's any leftovers, I could probably be tricked into. If you, who is this, Ben? If you send Chris Lord an email.
Why don't send it to me? I don't get anything done. I'm useless. I guess I'll try harder this time because you put me on the spot.
Send Chris a thing, and for $30 small, you can have a Knifewear hat.
Yeah. I didn't even know we had these hats. Like, I need one. Look, my hair is thinning. I need a hat. So, and Hasegawa cutting boards, we've had them. We get them in around garage sale. But if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for,
yeah, we get them and then we sell them and then we get them again. I don't know. We don't have we don't have
them with any regularity. No.
I don't know why. It's always just been a garage sale thing.
Yeah, we can always ask Naoto, Ben. Just stick it in the email and I'll ask. I don't know. It's easy. Worst thing can happen is Naoto yells at me the way he yelled at Kevin earlier. Happens sometimes.
He didn't yell at me. He just told me I was stupid.
Well, that's kind of a Naoto yell. He doesn't raise his voice. He just uses nasty words.
So mean.
But you know what? I've said let's like and subscribe a bunch of times. I talked about the December Sharp Knives Rock. We did talk about good knives to give as gifts. And we talked about we answered some questions.
Oh, we succeeded today. Well, that's pretty good.
We did a good job today. So
thanks for taking that bullet guy.
That's you, remember? Because that Sharpenator was the one who asked the question. And you took the bullet. You got called stupid.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, I didn't expect anything different.
No.
Yeah. So
No,
there you go.
Naoto, if you asked that in one of Naoto's videos, he wouldn't call you stupid, though,
No,
Sharpenator.
no, he'll be
No.
nice to you because he's professional at times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to go, Chris.
I think it's time to go. We're a half hour over our scheduled time. Chris Armitage is going to throw a conniption.
He's gonna get all banana-y about it. Apparently, you're
Yeah.
supposed to make them like less than an hour for something, some kind of thing that works better for YouTube or something.
Analytics and statistics.
Analytics, yeah. Like I got an email about. Ugh.
Yeah. Life is a baseball card collection to Chris Armitage. All he cares about is his runs batted in and his Moneyball. That's all he is. He's Moneyball Armitage.
God, that's what he does. Moneyball for YouTube.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Sharpenator? I don't understand. Also, hearing you, Lordy, when I went to Ottawa to go get my Kiritsuke was kind of surreal. Oh, don't be silly.
Chris, you're big. You're a big deal. You're a big deal around
I
here.
don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're a big deal. I know the first time I met you, I was pretty not nervous.
Well, that's because you just walked back into my kitchen waving a cookbook at me. I was very confused as to who this guy was. Like, what does he not know where the bathroom is? Get out of here. No, I didn't know who you were the first time I met you. That was kind of funny, actually. What's he
Did I
doing
do
with my
that?
cookbook? Who is this guy?
I sometimes wander into restaurants pretending I own the place. Actually, did I
Yeah.
tell you I did that the other day, Chris? Well, it's a while ago now. But I was
Was
at
it
the
the coffee shop?
coffee shop.
Yeah, you told me. This is a good story, actually.
So I'm at this coffee shop in my house, right? And I don't go there very often. But I'm in there that day. I just wanted a coffee. And there's a lady. There's only like one other person in there. She's ahead of me. And she's not wearing a mask. And I don't know if you know, there's a pandemic going on. She's not wearing a mask. And not only that, but she's being belligerent about it. And the poor girl that was working there was probably 16. She's all by herself. But she's behind a shield and she's got her mask on. And she's like, you can't come in here without a mask. Like, I can't serve you. And this lady's being super mean and belligerent. And I come in and see the situation right away. And I say, just put on your mask or leave. And she goes, what's it to you? And I said, I own this place. I shouted at her. And I said, get out. You're not welcome back.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
She said,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
never
that's
coming back. I
great.
said, you're not welcome back.
Yeah. No, that was good. I remember hearing that story. I quite enjoyed it.
I don't know where it came from. It just rose. I own this place. This is my place.
You know what?
Get out.
That was the right thing to do in the moment. You helped that young lady out a fair amount.
Oh, she was very happy. She was very happy.
Yeah.
And and just my my rage button was pushed that day for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Well, like, leave her alone, right? She's
No, it's
just
not
making
her
coffee. It's not her problem. So she got chucked out of the store by the owner, who was me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Who
the owner.
just happened to be
Not
you.
the owner of anything, really. But she's been super nice to me because I've seen her there a few times since, and she's been nice to me. The lady that works there.
People remember the people who helped them, right? So
Well, and she was funny too because she'd only just started, and she said something like, "Do you really own the place?"
no.
No. Because she said, "Oh, I know there's 5 owners. It's one of those places that's got like a shit ton."
Yeah,
of them. And she was just wondering if I was one of them, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I just thought that she needed some protection, and that lady had to just shut the F up.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you did. It's a good thing you did it. So otherwise, who knows how long that lady just stand there yelling at her over something.
She was like, she wanted a coffee and some kind of muffin or something. She was just being awful. She was just being awful. So I shouted at her and made her leave. But my favorite part was when she said, "I'm never coming back," and I said, "You're not welcome back." But I went right up to the door, made sure she left.
Yeah.
Outside and shouted at her.
Yeah. They probably talk about you at the staff meetings. You're like the coffee shop Batman. It's like, he's what is it? What's the thing? He's like, he's not the hero we want. He's the one we deserve, or something like that. I can't remember what the line is. So, well, should we turn this off now? Because now we're. Sean says the first time he met me, I was throwing sharp objects instead of cooking. That's true. Yeah, I did that. I met Sean at axe throwing when Nick Vidito and I joined an axe throwing league. That's where Sean came from. So, but you need to get those boxes unpacked. You've only done like 6 of them. I know you can't hear me. Or I can't hear you because the guy was beeping. Your reflexes were very good that time. But beep, boop, beep, boop. So maybe give me a thumbs up, Kevin, if you give me the okay to turn the stream off. Thumbs down. Not yet, folks. He wants you to hear the beeping. Yeah. No beeping. But maybe he wants to say goodbye. He wants to be polite. He wants to be polite. So, but you know what? If I told everybody earlier, if they need help or if they can't, that maybe they're not watching this live, to send an email over to hello@knifewear.com if you need a hand picking things out, to keep your eyes out for Sharp Knives Rock Christmas Spectacular on
That was a lot of
December
beeping.
6th. That was the most beeping yet, I think.
It was.
So,
It wasn't a Dutch coffee shop. What does that mean? Oh, a left-handed coffee shop?
maybe.
Hard to be in a left-handed coffee shop with the mask on.
It's true. It's true. You could eat the candies, maybe, like what I do
You
sometimes.
just put the mask with the little hole in it. Put your cigarette in.
Oh, yeah. Just
Me.
plug the hole.
Left-handed one.
Yeah. All right. So should we say goodbye now?
Story. What's the thing, the dumbest thing you ever did in a restaurant that you regret, but it's kind of funny, but you kind of wish you didn't do it?
Well, the best. This was back when. What was the name of that review? Yelp review. The best Yelp review I got, and I was. You know what? I don't really condone this behavior, to be honest with you. But one time we got a Yelp review where they had given us like 3 out of 5 stars or something, saying that the service was slow. And if the kitchen hadn't spent so much time running an arm wrestling tournament, they might have gotten their food faster. To which I replied with, well, if the servers moved fast enough, I wouldn't have had time for an arm wrestling tournament.
I like that you had an arm wrestling tournament in the middle of service when it was busy.
Yeah, well, sometimes people are peacocking, and you got to figure out who's going to win. So the answer is Alex Dufour.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. No, I never owned. Well, I did. Holy moly! I did chip my Denka the first time I used it when I went back to work. So I used to work at a place called the Wellington Gastropub here in Ottawa. That's where I worked before I came to Knifewear, and it's a very good restaurant if you're looking for a place to go. One of my favorite things about that restaurant is that they do take very good care of their staff, and I'm very comfortable recommending it as a place to support. And but I'm still good friends with. Well, he was the chef. He's left now, but I'd get a phone call every now and again, like, "Hey, Chris, can you just come help out for a day?" And I got no problem doing that. Like, this is the kind of place where my bill's never what it should be when I go in, and I feel like it's fair that they ask me for a bit of help from time to time. So I go in. I'm Chris was off or something, and he had asked. He's like, "Could you come in and do a bit of a prep shift for me? I just need someone to come in and make desserts Wednesday morning." I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can do that. That'll be fun." And it was right after, Kevin, it was right after I bought that Denka Nikiri, that Fujiwara engraved for me.
That you and I have matching. You and I have matching Denka Nikiris.
Yeah, so it must have been like the summer of
69.
Whoa. No, it was.
It's a Brian Adams song.
I know it is. It must have been 2000.
Brenda's having a giggle because she thought it meant something else.
Yeah, what a perv. I'm telling
Yeah, Brenda.
you, Brenda's a perv.
Great moment.
So, yeah, she stole your lunch and now she's inappropriate. She's on thin ice. Doesn't she know who she's talking to?
Yeah, Chris Lord's from HR, Brenda.
Yeah. So, And then so I hit this. So I say, yeah, sure, I'll go in and churn some ice creams and bake a cake. That's easy stuff. I could do that. So I remember phoning the sous chef who had replaced me. Her name's Amanda. And if you're in the Ottawa area, she's open. She's recently opened a business, or she's just about to, out in Manotick, called North Station Provisions or North Station Market, something like that. It's on Main Street in Manotick. It's a butcher shop and bakery, like a nice little grocery store. Like they got a great meat counter. They're gonna have good bread. Like, and she's a great cook. Like, there's a lot of good food in there. So down in Manotick, I phone her up and I say, "Hey, Amanda, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna be 15 minutes late. I'm in traffic. I'm stuck on the highway." She says, "Yeah, no problem." She's like, "But the lunch cook just called and they can't make it today. Do you mind working the line instead?" And I was like, "Oh," I wasn't happy about that, but I said, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll still help out. I'll be a good sport." So I go in, and at this point, only the kitchen staff really knows me because I've been at Knifewear for about a year, and there was a fair bit of turnover in the front of house. And so I go in, and I'm doing lunch. Everything's going great. I hadn't screwed up yet. And I start yelling because there's no bell or anything. We just would stick our head out the window and just say, "Pick up," right? Pick up. Well, after I yelled "pick up" for the second time on one table, well, I said, "Fuck this. I'm walking it out myself." So there I go. I still know the table numbers. I know where everything is. I grab the 2 plates. I walk out into the restaurant, and the servers are looking at me like, "Who is this guy?" And the front of house, the guy who was working, managing the dining room that day, a guy named Jamal. He's a good dude. Jamal says, he's like, "Well, you've gone and pissed him off now, so make sure you tip him out at the end of your shift because he's running food for you." That was the day I chipped my denka because I was cutting a bunch of green onions on one of those like white poly cutting boards, and gave a sweet. Could put a couple baby chips in it. I don't know if it.
That'll happen. That'll happen. You shouldn't do that.
No. So that's 2 good stories right there. You had a good story. I had a good story.
Is there anything else we need to talk about? I just,
Yeah, the dinging. The dinging is a lot, but I don't know. Does anyone else want to? You're still here. There's still 16 people watching. So if you want, I don't know, if you want a funny story, I'll tell you one. I got lots. I went to Japan with Kevin one time. 2 times, actually. We were talking about Saji before. I drank a lot more than Saji did one night. That was fun.
did you eat? What's the most challenging thing you ate with chopsticks?
It was the pizza. It was eating a whole slice of pizza with chopsticks.
But let's be honest, it was like a frozen pizza.
Oh, it wasn't good pizza. No, it was like a Delicio. It's not delivery; it's Delicio. You remember those commercials?
Hey, look who just came by! Look at this.
Who is it? I hope I know who this person is. Oh, it's Naoto. Throw something at him.
Okay.
Are those protective headphones or is that ear protection or music? Do you think? Did you hit her?
I shot an elastic right over his head.
Don Penny says that's why you should never chop onions. You know what? I guess it was last Thursday. Don came into the store. I know he was in over the weekend with his mom. Bought his mom a knife. That was nice of him. He's a good boy. But he was in the store with separate with his buddy Paul. They both made separate trips down. The 2 of them just started ripping each other up in the store. It was hilarious. Paul Furlot's a pretty big personality. He's a good fella. But yeah, he was talking about how Don's weird because Don won't eat onions.
Don won't eat onions. That's right.
Yeah.
Do you know?
But Paul will eat
in Australia.
So I don't know if you can really trust him.
A shark almost attacked Don once, and he bit the shark.
That's true.
The shark got stitches.
You know, Don Penny climbed Mount Everest for real.
He did. He was going to do it without oxygen, but instead he did it without shoes.
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty wild.
Yeah, the Sherpas paid Dawn to carry their stuff.
It's amazing.
That's
It's
how.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. He put old green shoes. He brought them back to life. I think that's the. You know how like there's like frozen people in the ice on the way up to the summit, and they're used as landmarks. Did you know that, Kevin?
No, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, Don brought them all back to life. He's like
Don't be silly.
a central Newfoundland messiah.
Wow.
What? Oh, that's a weird question, Sean Coots. What is your least favorite knife, but one you would still own for the heck of it? Like a knife that you don't use often, or a knife?
I've got a Victorinox
Mm-hmm.
10-inch chef's knife that I used recently.
Oh yeah. Jack-o'-lanterns. Frozen food. A lobster or a crab? The bunny. Scene of the crime.
I may or may not have shot a bunny the other day, and a couple, and just I couldn't find my cleaver, and I just needed to cut the feet off. So I just used my. I've got this 10-inch Victorinox that I use for stupid things. You know those tablets, those hard tablets of soap you buy for your dishwasher?
Oh yeah.
Someone once told me they're too big, and if you cut them in half, they work just as well. So I tried, and they do.
Oh really?
So I saved the Victorinox. So I buy a box of those tabs and then cut them in half.
You know what? I've said this before, that a Victorinox knife is my favorite of the non-Japanese knives.
Yeah.
I would buy a Victorinox knife over the fanciest Henkel or Wusthof or anything like that easily.
Oh, I got a Henkel knife the other day in the post.
Oh, did you?
I got a Henkel 4-star petty, like a paring knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. So I had a Henkel kettle. It was a fancy
Oh,
kettle.
yeah. You were telling me about the kettle.
And it broke. It broke almost immediately.
Yeah.
So I was upset. And
Yeah, you were excited about the kettle.
They wouldn't take it back at the shop. So I had to send it back to Henkel. So I sent it back to Henkel on my own dime too. So irritating. And then they sent this thing back. But it wasn't what they sent me back a stove, like a little braising pot with the lid.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow.
a 4-star paring knife.
That's not going to help you make your tea.
But that's not what I want. I want my kettle.
Yeah, you were pretty excited about that kettle.
I was. It was great. It was super fast. It looked
Yeah.
good. It was a good little kettle. It just did what it was supposed to do until it broke.
Yeah. My
Then
kettle.
then it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
No, my kettle cost $2 at a garage sale.
Well,
I was
my
talking about
kettle-
that the other day,
my
and
kettle
how
has
excited
cost
I
me-
was.
My kettle has cost me return shipping to Mississauga.
Oh,
But I've since made a profit of a Henkel 4-star paring knife, which you don't want, and a Staub cast iron red. At least they got red, color I like. Little braising pot. So I don't really know what's happening with that. They have not answered my email yet.
We got a new restaurant here in Ottawa that I think you might like. So you know our pals over at the Whale's Bone?
Yep.
Yeah, we like to go there for lunch sometimes, or we used to, when we were allowed to do that. They opened a steakhouse, like an old school steakhouse, like tableside
And is it
service.
called the Elephant Bone?
No, it's called Harmon's. Harmon's. You know where the Fox and Feather pub was on Elgin Street? It's like it's up the road a bit. It's a little bit north of where Mark and Laurie's restaurant Town is.
Yeah.
A little bit north on the other side of the road.
I never went to that place.
Okay. Yeah.
That's probably
there's no
why they
reason.
went out of business.
There was no reason. Yeah, you single-handedly ended them by never going there.
By not shopping there, it put them out of business, sadly.
Yeah. But Harmon's, they Now they're just got the steakhouse open now, but they intend on having a butcher counter there too. But they're doing like like that kind of old school. I'm pretty excited about it. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, Don Penny's talking about Fat Boys down in the market barbecue place. We'll have to go there when you come in.
What's
Don
Don Penny
invited-
saying? Saying I need
He
to
says
lose
it's
some weight? Is that what
It's
you're
a
saying,
nice
Don
barbecue
Penny?
joint.
See what you're saying there, Don Penny.
Oh, he's being nice. Mike Wrench is trying to call me right now. Should we turn this off so I can talk to Mike? Or
We probably
we're
should.
almost 2 hours now.
I know, it's ridiculous. I
Okay.
just wanted to stay on because Armitage always gives us trouble for staying
Yeah.
on longer. Like, if we stay on for 61 minutes, he tells
Yeah.
us about the
Well, we're
YouTube
51
algorithms
minutes
and
over.
stuff. So,
Mike's probably just like Mike could just come to the other end of the building.
he's not sitting very far from me.
Yeah.
About 4 kilometers. It's a big, long warehouse. About 4K.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they gotta fit the Manhattan Project in there.
Yeah.
So, well, here, why don't we say goodbye? I should probably help the staff and stuff here. The store is busy, so and you got to get those. I just keep distracting you. You got to get those boxes dealt with. So here, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give the rundown again. Make sure you like and subscribe. Right, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're putting, the team has been doing a really, really good job making some pretty cool content. Like Mike is doing these knife versus knife explanations and demonstrations. I did the cooking video there. I know we had some. I wonder if anything will ever come of it. But Kevin and Mike and Nauto and I all did some reactionary videos. Kevin and I looked at a bunch of food hacks one day after the creme de menthe and the beer. So that should be funny. Hopefully that'll pop
I'm
up.
concerned about that, Chris, because I didn't know what we were doing. They just made us watch really a collection of the dumbest videos possible.
Yeah.
And they put beer, and I had a couple of beer in me by then, and I was feeling
Yeah.
funny. I was tired and feeling giddy.
Yeah.
And I think I probably said a bunch of mean things about people that are
Yeah.
just trying their best. on
No, they're
Instagram.
trying to trick you. I think. I don't know. I did one Nauto and I looked at some sharpening gizmos for one of them, and then Mike and I reviewed cooking scenes in movies, and then I got in a bunch of shit because I hadn't seen some of these movies. So Spanish Law says KW is the main thing. Doing more Kent of Inglewood content in the future. Yeah, sure. Easy stuff. It just sounds
That's
like
the
someone's
plan.
there.
That's the
It sounds like someone's over there smashing sheet pans together. It's like you got an angry dishwasher 10 feet away from you.
It's Brenda. It's Brenda. She's so noisy.
Yeah.
She's smashing things. She stole my lunch. She laughed at me when I fell off my bicycle.
Oh, and the perverted thing she said earlier too.
Oh, she said a terrible thing earlier. Very bad.
Yeah.
Very naughty.
Oh, here, Mike wants to cook a fillet in a pan and make a green peppercorn sauce. Would that be a good video? And then Sean
Mike
says, if you
wants to
haven't,
make that video, so I'm buying him a steak. That's what he wants.
I would be lying if I said I have not done the same. I ate a lot of fried chicken there for a while, showing people how to make Hanasuki or use a Hanasuki. So
Yeah. Did you ever have a braised lamb neck?
yeah, I even had the fire department show up. Oh, Mike says you can come over and eat it. He'll cook it for you, Kevin. That's nice. That's
Well, then I
nice.
can
And
come
Ben
over.
says he'd like to see Mike cut up pineapples.
I'm cutting up pineapples.
Yeah. Remember, you beat me that one time very easily.
Because I'm very good at cutting up pineapples.
Yeah. Well, one of us had a job.
I worked with that catering department that
Yeah.
cut up a lot of pineapples.
Yeah, one of us has had a job where fruit trays were more important to the other one.
Ooh.
So,
Fruit mirrors at a buffet.
yeah,
You'll put the fruit on the mirror in the buffet.
yeah. So, but here, I really should let you go. I don't know how many people are in there, but it's noisy. All right, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. I don't know when we'll be back, but if you subscribe to the channel, you'll know right away. So, we'll see. Bye for now.